Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of the 99/2000 Miata coil pack change out. This will be the same as well for the 94 to 97 cars. Bear in mind the coil packs are not the same. They look physically the same, but they're not. They have a different amount of pins in various ones between 94 and 2000. This is the 3-pin, and I'm going to quickly go into that now that we've got the new one sitting here. So this here is what they refer to as the 3 pins, 1, 2, and 3 on each of these. There are yours that have an identical looking coil pack. It looks the same, and like I say, 94 to 97, 99, and 2000, they look exactly like this, except the 99 and 2000s have a 3-pin configuration, and most of the other years, except for 1 or 2 of them, have a 4-pin in there. So bear that in mind and make sure it's a 3-pin if you order one. Okay, there you go. That's the old one. Finally got it out. The biggest challenge on this was getting the plugs off. And what I ended up doing in the end was lubing them. I sprayed them with some silicone lubricant, one of my favorite things ever. And then I had to get in there and had to squeeze the plugs quite hard with my long-handled pliers. And even then it was tough to get them to slide off because those clips on the plugs are so stiff because they'd never been off before. So there you go. That was one of the biggest things to try and get this off. We ended up taking a few things apart to make it happen. I'm just going to put this on the grounds. Now, I'm going to bring you in for a close-up here and just show you what's going on here. There we go. There's our new one. And you notice this at the bottom. That's the pivot bolt that I mentioned in part 1. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this right. A lot of people never put that back on, but we're gonna do it. And we're gonna pull this little part out of the center here. You know, I should bring this up. There we go. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull, there's like a little barrel here that goes through there. And what we wanna do is transplant this over to the other side. So let me just do that in a minute. First of all, I'm going to show you where we ran into issues here. So these are the plugs, and when they're back in, these clips here are super stiff, and they would not come off. No matter how much finger pressure I put on. I tried prying them with screwdrivers and then putting a screwdriver underneath it to get it to pop up and release, and it still wouldn't do it. That silicone spray and then those long-handled, slightly angled pliers made the difference. We've also got that little thing here. Now this actually clips right in to the coil pack body itself. And this one doesn't have a hole for it, but I think the original one did. Yeah, right there. So that little hole there is where that was clipped into, and they don't have it on the new one. So, and you can see that there, hang on a second, that there is where this needs to get transplanted to, and I'll do that in a minute. I loosened up the bolts that hold this guy on and took them right out to give us a bit more room to move. And those are just 10mm bolts. You can see the hole where it goes in there. And I also undid the vacuum line from it here, and I was tempted to undo it here too, but I didn't need to. So there you are. So that's a little more in-depth close-up on what we've been doing. Same here, that clips onto that part that we undid. There's just clips. We haven't broken a single clip yet, so that's a good thing. So let's get to putting this thing back together now that we've had a good look at that. And this part should be quite simple, and it should go smoothly. There we are. Let's commence. So now, first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to try and get this out. And this could be a challenge. Like I say, a lot of people don't ever bother reusing this, but I kind of like to do things the right way and make sure all the original parts are back in, if at all possible. So let's just see how much of a challenge we're going to have getting this out. Now, quite often you can pop one side of this out and then pull it apart, and then the rubber part slides out quite easily. But we'll see if this is like that or not. We might have to get a little screwdriver in here. Yeah, I'm wondering about that, if that's gonna cooperate. There we go. Okay. It was just very, very stiff from being in there all these years. So that washer comes off. Yeah, I wonder, this is like concrete, this thing. I think we may not bother with this, actually. It's going to be bolted on here and here anyway. This looks like the rubber is so far gone that it's not really doing much anyway. Let's just see. Yeah, that's just brutal. Yeah, we're not going to bother with that part. We won't worry about that. Okay, there you go. That saved us some time. That's not worth reusing. Okie dokie. So let's get back to business here. And we're gonna reattach this. And we're gonna grab our 12mm bolts. Yeah, now with this all loose, it makes it a lot easier to get in here and slide this in. If we hadn't undone this first, we would have had quite a bit of trouble getting it to come out. So now our job's a lot easier. So we can just move that. You've got your two plugs here, and they're in a kind of a Y shape. So, you know, that's the way they want to go onto these again. So don't cross them over. Just let them be in their natural positions. And then we'll get this thing into position. And not a lot of room, but there's enough. Just barely enough, the way we got it going on here. Okay. It's kind of tricky. Kind of wondering if there's just no room to move. Okay, I think I got it. So I can't really get you, and I'll show you afterwards what I'm doing. And still. There we go, click. Number 2. Click. Okay, good. So now the electrical connection's back on. Now what we need to do is just make sure we haven't forgotten to do anything back up or clip anything back in yet. I think we're good now. So what we're going to do is reattach the two 12mm bolts, and it's going to slide right into the back of the valve cover here. There's a threaded hole where these go into, just the way you took them out. And get it lined up. Support the coil pack with your hand and hold it in place so it makes it really easy to get the bolts threaded up by hand, finger tight, and then you can just torque them down a little bit with your 12mm wrench. So there we go. That's it. Now, the other side has this bracket, and that's the bracket that holds the wiring clip for the O2 sensor. So we want to make sure we don't forget to put this on. And the orientation is this way. So first we'll put the bolt through and hold it with our finger. We'll move this forward. And now this bolt wasn't the original because somebody had over tightened the original and damaged the bolt. So oh, damn it. Okay, we're on our way. Now we're going to take our 12mm wrench. Come around and do that other one there. Now, while I'm in here, I'm going to reconnect this plug to the top of the coil pack bracket. And of course, that hole's not as big as the one that was on the original, which is interesting. Oh no, because it goes here. Right there, not there. There we go, that's better. Now, we need to find the other end of that guy. Figure out where it went, because we've been rooting around in there so much that the O2 sensor cable has decided to move into a different position than it started. There it is. That's it there. So actually we'll connect that last after we get the rest of this done. This job's not that hard. It's just there's a lot of little stuff that gets in your way on this thing, and you get something that doesn't go smoothly, like getting the plugs undone. Something simple as that can really slow you down, and having this out of the way is a big help as well. I should have maybe taken this bracket right off, but it's not that big a deal. Yeah, the more stuff you get out of your way, of course, the easier it is. But sometimes I like to do things the hard way. There we go. Now don't completely go nuts on tightening these two bolts. They are threaded just into aluminum, so if you do over tighten them, you can strip the threads on the valve cover and then it'll just be loose. So definitely don't over tighten those. Get them nice and snug and firm, but don't go nuts. Now then, we've got that done. We need to get this guy back in its natural position, like that. And then we can get this into its natural position as well. Now, this has two clips. They both clip into those little tiny holes on top of the coil pack, like so. And then we can plug this back in. This is the O2 sensor wire. Go like that. Quick. Okay. Now, before we do anything else, make sure that's clean. We'll get this guy back on. That's kind of old and crusty. I'm just gonna lube it up a tiny bit. There we are. Take a little pliers, put the clip back on so we don't forget. There we are, like that. Now, 10mm bolts that hold this thing to the firewall. We're going to go in next. Go. Next one. Yep. Okay, it's all back together. Just double check, make sure we haven't missed anything. Okay, so far so good. So that's that. So the one bolt we're going to have left is this pivot bolt right here. That was the one that goes through the bottom of the coil pack, and most of the time it's not even there because once it gets taken out, nobody bothers to put it back in. You do have enough stuff holding it on here, but that there isn't coming off of this one. It's fused to it, so we're not going to worry about that one today. Next, we're going to reconnect our wires, or our high tension leads or spark plug wires, and as you can tell, they are numbered, so that is for cylinder number 4. And how the coil pack works is the far, from where we're standing, the far left, or the one on the right side of the car, is number 4. Good. There we are. Next, we'll do a number 3. So it goes 4, 1, 2, 3, and I usually put them on in order of length. So there you go, that's number 2. And last, we got number 1. That's the longest one, of course. So there we are. So again, our firing order is 4, 1, 2, 3 on this car. That should be the same 94 all the way up to 2000, okay? It's different on the 1.6 cars from 90 to 93. There we are. Now they're all sitting down all the way, as you can tell. Quite often, if somebody's put new wires, or a lot of Miatas I see, it's sitting up like this. It's not down all the way. It's got to go all the way in. So to achieve that, you have to grease up the top part of this, and then it'll slide in all the way. There we are. So double checking everything. Everything looks great. Everything's reconnected. And there we are. That's it. So that's how you change the coil pack on a 94 all the way up to 2000 Mazda Miata or MX5. And very common problem on 99s and 2000s to have bad coil packs. And as mentioned, we get a P0300 code as a random multiple misfire, and that is a pretty good indication that the coil pack is failing. So this one had it intermittently yesterday. It did it, and then it went back to normal, and we had a very slight rough idle, and I'm sure that's going to solve the problem. So if you like the video, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll make more videos coming up soon, and any questions, post them in the comments, and I'll give you a part number for that coil pack as well. Thanks, guys.